Chili Peppers on the show. It's Rock 105.3. So it is Free Comedy Friday today, and it is very rare that I can say we have a legend in studio.
Yeah.
Listen, Kevin Nealon is a legend, and he is performing here in town at the American Comedy Company. So you got to go check him out. A couple shows tonight, a couple shows tomorrow night. Kevin, welcome back to San Diego.
Thank you so much.
You're
Always
welcome.
a pleasure to drive down here. And what I did this time was I left a little bit early so I don't get stuck in that 2.5 hour, 3 hour traffic.
Nice.
I don't know what has happened. There is a point on the 5 in between. It's right around San Onofre where it just stops now. And I don't know why that is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no rhyme or reason to it, this traffic.
Because there's nothing around in that
Nothing.
area. Like, you
It's
know.
the weirdest drive.
Yeah.
And I've heard no rhymes about that either.
Right.
No.
Why would
Rhymes
you?
about
What
traffic.
It'd be stupid.
No.
It's hard to
reasons.
ride
No,
traffic.
yeah.
But what I love to do is I love to take the train down. Is it surf ride or anything?
Yes.
I love that.
It
but
is super nice.
It's not running now.
Is it not?
You got to take a bus part of the way and then catch the train. I ain't riding on no bus.
They ain't getting on that bus. You can put Kevin Nealon on that bus.
That's bus life.
Yeah. The train has a different vibe.
But you know, you go by all the traffic. You go, hey, suckers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sky and I did the Surf Rider one time up and saw a show with Will Ferrell, actually. And it was great. It was one of the coolest things to do.
I was drinking
Like,
wine.
why don't I do this more?
Oh, yeah.
I gotta do this more. I feel like I'm a train guy and I don't ride it.
Oh, you should try first class train sometime.
Do you think I can make it?
That's a thing?
I don't even know what that would be like.
I know.
I can't. I don't
Is that
think I
like
can
the
handle that,
Orient
Kevin.
Express? What is that like? First
know.
class?
But yeah, so anyway, it's going to be back.
Yes, welcome back to town.
I don't know what we talked about last time, but I did live here for a couple months.
I do remember that. I do remember that. That is great.
Yeah.
Do you miss it at all? San Diego life?
I do kind of miss it.
Yeah.
I miss how it's just such a healthy town.
Yeah.
Like,
We're a very chill town.
A lot of
Yeah.
athletes,
Yeah.
a lot of
True.
7-year-old surfers.
Oh, yeah.
That is a
That
fact
can
too.
beat up 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
seen
weird.
it.
It's
Seen
definitely
it.
weird.
Mhm.
You know, you guys were talking about who win in a fight.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, it really only takes one jab.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
right, the
Right
first
spot.
one to let loose.
Yeah.
you know?
Well, that's what I was telling Emily over here because she's got a 13-year-old. I said if her 13-year-old hit me, I mean, it wouldn't really hurt that bad. So that, I don't know how he's gonna win the fight.
And it wouldn't be in the right spot
No.
either.
Yeah.
You
Kevin's
wouldn't know
right.
where to go.
Yeah. Like you gotta, if you get a good jab in the nose, your eyes water up. It's a whole
you got
thing.
him.
Yeah.
I've never been in a fight in my life.
And you're
Really?
never really,
Never been in a fight.
not
Have you
even.
come close?
Well, I've hit a few times. I got sucker punched.
Oh.
And that's why I've never been in a fight. I wanted to experience that again. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I was hiking. I do this hiking show called Hiking.
That's
with
right.
Kevin
Yeah, I
on YouTube.
remember
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And I was hiking with Alec Baldwin a couple years ago, and
He hit you?
I
He sucker punched you.
No.
Wouldn't surprise me.
But you know, I said, Alec, do you think you have an anger management problem?
No.
And he goes, no. You know what it is? People set me up. You know, like the camera will hit my wife or whatever. And I said, you know, it's interesting because I've never. I said, what's it like to hit somebody?
Yeah.
He goes, because I said I never hit anybody. He goes, no.
Like you
Like
didn't
it's
like
a
it.
travesty.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
kind of a good thing,
I
you know,
think
when you
so.
think about it.
It should be.
You know,
No.
and Kevin, you're a larger man. You could do some damage if you
Yeah.
really wanted to. You know, yeah.
Yeah, probably. But I'm very wise. I know that the shorter people are much more tougher than the bigger guys because the bigger guys don't get into that many fights.
Because why
they
would
scare
you?
people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The little guys are, oh man, those are like badgers.
Yeah, too squirrely.
Oh, yeah.
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 You never know what you're gonna get with those guys.
Yeah.
So besides, are you still doing the hiking stuff?
I am.
Okay.
I'm still doing it.
That's great.
I was just checking the other day. I was putting them all together. I've done 116.
Wow.
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 Past 4 seasons I
That's
did.
crazy.
And my knees are shot.
Oh,
You
that's
can't do it
right.
anymore.
No, I can still do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's just not as fun.
The incline has gotten less and less.
Oh,
Yeah.
smart.
It's more like just walking.
It's more of a walk now.
So who
Stroll.
surprised
Stroll.
you most on all your hikes?
Me.
Just you. Like, you're able to do all those
Yeah.
hikes.
Oh man, we've had so many great hikes. The other day I hiked with Bryan Cranston. I was a big Breaking Bad fan.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that
Emily,
show.
too.
Yeah.
I know it. I
Oh, is
know
he
it.
as great as I think he would be?
Oh, he's so good.
Oh,
He's
wow.
so good, and you know, I'm trying to picture him as Walter White as I'm hiking with him.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing.
And he's such a good actor.
Yeah.
It's hard to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Have you ever hiked with Larry David?
Larry David, I've known. He was like one of the first comics I saw
Oh.
in New York, and this is back in the 1900s. He got up, and I was so impressed by the whole comedy clubs scene.
Yeah.
Everybody crammed into the room in New York. You could smoke back then.
Oh, nice.
And the New York comics were so brash.
Yeah.
And Larry David was on stage once, and he had very little patience. And somebody was talking loud or heckling him, and he called the guy outside. Oh, you and me, outside, you and me.
What? Oh my God,
Larry?
Yeah.
Stop.
And
Just refuse.
But he never even saw the guy because the lights are so bright on stage, and the guy was huge.
Oh no.
And they went
That's a risk.
outside, and Larry never came back.
Oh!
He just ran.
Yeah.
I bring up Larry because me and my wife, and Eddie too, we love Curb. And
Yeah.
you were on one of my favorite episodes.
Really?
You were on an episode where you, Larry, Jeff were all playing poker.
Yeah.
And you get a phone call that your wife's brother was in a bad car accident. And then you guys rush out of there and they all decide to keep playing poker because what are they going to do?
Yeah.
And then you come back and they're all laughing it up, having pizza. And it's so funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's it, when you're on that show, there's no script, right? So it's just all improv.
There's bullet points.
There's
Like
bullet
an
points.
outline.
You know
Yeah.
what you're going to be
So
doing.
is it
this
tough getting in there with them like that?
Oh no, it's fun because it's not a one-shot deal. You keep doing it, you keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
But another part of that episode that I really loved was I had to get Larry to apologize
Yeah.
to my brother-in-law,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he said, all right. And so he calls him, excuse me, and he's apologizing, but he's eating pistachios at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I gotta weigh in. It was like, you can't apologize to somebody as you're, enjoying,
Yeah.
food,
Right.
Because you're not feeling it.
Yeah, it's not genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So genius.
So
That's great.
that was a good episode.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great one.
We were talking this morning about heckling and things like that. A crazy laugh. If you're on stage and there's a laugh that is clearly out there, it's distracting. Because we were talking about, do you know who Maria Menounos is?
Yeah.
She's like an entertainment reporter.
Yeah.
She's got one of the crazier laughs you'll ever hear. And that's it right there. If you hear that on stage, do you have to stop and go and point it out and go, my goodness, that's so distracting, or anything?
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because I had a good friend. He came to see my show. I hadn't seen him in a while, and he comes to my show. He's sitting really near the front, and he had the most piercing high laugh.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was
Okay.
like on Amadeus, that movie.
Yeah.
That character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really high laugh.
Okay.
And it's so distracting. The whole audience is laughing at his laugh. And you can't throw somebody out because they're laughing.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I mean,
you
that's
want
true.
to. You've done your job.
That's right. So yeah, it is. You have to kind of, comment on it.
Go along. You have to point it out, though, right?
Yeah, and then I think they kind of recognize after a while that the tape you put on their mouth means they're laughing.
Okay.
Now, Kevin, one of their favorite shows, Curb. One of my favorite shows of all time, Weeds.
Weeds.
And, yes, and oh my gosh, loved you on Weeds. And I just read that a reboot is in the works.
Really?
Are you?
Is this news to Kevin?
Are you in this universe at all? Because they say it's gonna be, with the original, at least Mary Louise Parker, like 10 years later, her character. Once weed has become legal and everything that's going on, so
Yeah, I've heard that in the last 15 years before that it was going to be rebooted.
yeah,
And most recently, right before the pandemic, I heard it was going to be rebooted.
yeah, like they just started talking about it again like a month ago.
Huh.
Yeah.
So
I'm not really, I probably know as much as you do about that.
Yeah.
oh, I was hoping for some inside dirt. But would you revisit that world?
I would, yeah.
Okay, that was an amazing show.
Yeah, it was a fun show. That was for 8 seasons, 8 years.
Wow.
on
It's
that.
crazy.
And what did they use as the weed? Because it looks so real. Or was it real weed?
People ask that. It was, no, if it was real weed, there'd be no show.
Yeah, it'd be a little silly.
It'd be one really long pilot.
You guys just laughing all the time. Yeah.
So true.
It was, it's called Honey Rose Herb. And it's a very
Oh.
light, gentle kind of an herb. And they use it in every movie where you're smoking or smoking pot. It's Honey Rose Herb. And I don't smoke, so it was still a little harsh. on
Yeah.
my-
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, and also we get it from the Honey Rose Herb cartel in Colombia. So it's got
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
Very
oh.
interesting, Kevin.
But on the down low,
Yeah, it's not as pleasant as it sounds.
Okay.
Wow.
I hear you also have become an author as well. There's a book out.
I do have a book out,
Oh.
and it's been out for about a year now.
Okay.
And we might have talked about it last time, but it's called I Exaggerate, My Brushes with Fame.
Is this the caricature?
It's the
thing?
caricature
Oh, okay,
one.
okay,
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Yes, I
draw-
remember you.
I paint celebrities, and a lot of them are my friends. And on the opposite page, I put a little anecdote.
Oh,
about that
that's
person,
great.
experience
Cool.
with them, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Who
it's-
was the most interesting subject matter to do,
Oh boy.
or one of your favorites?
One of my favorites is Christopher Walken.
Oh, that's gotta
Yeah,
be great.
he was,
Oh.
and I really
yeah.
kind of made him kind of really Christopher Walken-y.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
And I did a little book tour where I had to get, as a courtesy, I would get some of these people's permission if I was using their pictures.
Sure.
Come
Yeah.
out. Jim Carrey was fine with it. Steve Martin was cool with it. And then I sent Christopher Walken's painting to his agent, and he hated it.
Oh,
no.
I mean, it's a caricature,
Yeah, it's
so
a
I mean, how do
caricature.
you
And then he sent it to Christopher Walken, and Christopher Walken and his wife hated it.
really?
Hated it. He said, under no circumstances can you use this to promote your book.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, it's wild. But it was, I really love it. It's my favorite one in the book, and a lot of people seem to like it.
That's great, and it's
Yeah.
available wherever you
Yeah,
get
you can,
books and
you can
things
get
like that.
it, you can get it wherever the books are. I suggest going to a mom and pop place to get it.
That's nice.
Yeah. And if they don't have it, just go to Amazon.
No, there you go.
Although, I do like to bring the book sometimes with me to the club and show that, leave it there. But I forgot to bring it this time, so I called Barnes and Noble, to get one.
Yeah.
I said, do you guys have a book called I Exaggerate?
Yeah.
My Brushes with Fame by Kevin Nealon. She said, hang on, who's it by? I said, Kevin Nealon.
Yeah.
And she goes, hang on, let me go check. She comes back 2 minutes later. She goes, yes, I do have it.
Oh, good.
And I said, oh, great. Can you hold it at the cash register? I'll be right in. She goes, okay, what name should I hold it under? I said, Kevin Nealon.
Oh my
Oh
God.
boy.
Yeah.
That's
I love that.
yeah. I don't know how that goes over. Listen, you can go see Kevin Nealon at the American Comedy Company. A couple shows tonight, a couple shows tomorrow night. Great seeing you again,
Yeah,
Kevin.
you too,
Thanks for
Eddie.
coming in.
Thanks, you guys.
Absolutely.